Okay, so I'm spending my day at the Detroit Institute of Art. And as you can see, it's close to Halloween, and there's sleepwalkers, and then there's like having things over there where you can go in and they talk about spooky stories about the things.
This project began 2 years ago, if I think of it. And as a journalist, the New York Times asked if I wanted to start writing some feature stories about Detroit. And the minute I came into the city, I started to see that this was one of the most fascinating stories I could ever have the privilege to cover.
A couple of years ago, we grew concerned about the diminution of arts journalism across the country. And so we got together with the National Endowment for the Arts, and we decided to have a community arts journalism contest. What is it that could happen in their community to make sure that arts journalism stayed a vibrant part of the community? And we expected a few ideas, but much to our surprise, we got 243 ideas. A number of them came from Detroit.
I personally think Detroit is one of the best cities for design. I mean, I think it's very overlooked most of the time.
I hadn't originally expected much, but almost I feel the artists have been inspired by the rise and fall of Detroit.
Because so much of Detroit and the community here is about this sort of DIY idea.
With the recent successful millage, we're excited that the museum is free for so many visitors.
Young people, older people, mature people, everybody's here. So I think it's another step in Detroit having a renaissance, coming back to where it belongs.
In the process of reporting on Detroit, I noticed that the best voices coming out of the city were those of the residents here. The Detroiters who have lived in the city through all of its problems, who know the cultural history and legacy of Detroit. And it was their voices that I thought would be the best dialogue on arts and culture in Detroit.
And eventually we picked 3 winners across America. And one of those winners was CriticCar. Jennifer Conlin and her team came to us and said, what if we asked the public what they thought about the movie, the opera, the symphony, the ballet? And we love that idea. We think that that kind of social interaction is what's going on in society anyway today. So we're very excited about CriticCar and what it's going to mean to arts criticism in Detroit and across the country.
It's so easy to get to know about it once you like some things on Facebook, either the DIA, the Car Center, the Detroit Design Festival.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be here. This is my first time coming out to Detroit Design Festival, and so far it's been really good.
I also went to Eastern Market after dark, which was phenomenal. It felt like one of those moments where it was an idea that could have hatched a long time ago.
Brought my family down for the weekend to visit and couldn't believe it that we stumbled into de-electricity.
It's a nighttime exhibition of art and light, and we're really looking forward to having more outdoor public art events in the city in the coming weeks.
I am a huge fan of Eastern Market generally, so I was really excited to get the invitation that there's going to be just a bunch of open doors.
What I wanted to really do was capture that moment when people have come out of a performance or are in the midst of experiencing a cultural event, and that enthusiasm, that very forthright criticism that I like it, I don't like it, here's what I liked, here was my favorite part, that the excitement. But we're arts criticism, and specifically citizen arts reviews, so I hope that people will feel free, and I'm telling them feel free to say anything you want.
Just walked out of the Aerial Angels theatrical show, which was bizarre. Never seen anything like it.
This is the one and only time we're going to be performing this specific show. The show was born and dying right here today, tonight.
The part where the woman with the whip did the thing with the flower was really funny.
We're looking at a projection right now that's broadcast outside the DIA.
The electricity is a fun festival, and because they have a cool robot. He was a snowman, and he could light up. He was very silly.
A friend of mine got really upset, but I guess that's the point of art. It's supposed to bring out, people's emotions and all of that. So it did its job, for better or worse.
I looked at some of the galleries that I've been to in the past, like the Artifact Gallery over there and the Red Bull House of Art.
It was a very traditional space being utilized in a very contemporary way and a very unexpected way.
So we are on our way to making this happen and very excited to see what comes out of these reviews. And of course, the biggest goal was that people would share these on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. So really my goal with CriticCar Detroit is to spread the word about Detroit arts and culture, but also to make the community feel that they are a part of what is happening in their city.
I love what's going on at MOCAD. I think their contribution to de-electricity is very current.
5-10 years ago, these types of events were so raw and so independent.
But it's mind-boggling because it's so interactive right now.
Detroit is alive and well these days. They put their minds together and everybody's creating something beautiful. So if you're from Detroit, come check it out. If you're not from Detroit, come check it out anyway because it's definitely worth your while.